Fantastic rising, everybody. T-NocK with Shore Shield. I literally just woke up maybe 15 minutes ago, and I had a heartfelt feeling I needed to share with the community about this term spiritual bypassing. And I know a couple of the definitions by heart because I've been one to bypass before. And if you're a awakened one, there's really no way out of it. You're gonna confront those issues. That's the only way to get through. There we go. So I set this chair up. Hopefully this beautiful sun isn't too much, but hey, check that out, man. Break free, die trying. Not bad, not bad. Oh, that creamer with coffee is pretty good. I guess I'll just hold on to it. Anyways, I wanted to give my take on spiritual bypassing. Last night, I had a long chat with my dad, who he's going through an awakening. And prior to that, it was a busy day. Well, before I get to that conversation, it was a very busy day. You may have seen some of my posts. I did a lot of raking yesterday. I went on the roof, leaf blowed all the storm debris from the redwood off. It's a common thing around here, but this time there was quite a bit. There was quite a bit of debris. Big old branch fell through. Luckily, nothing happened to the roof. Anyway, I spent about 2 hours on that, and then. This was after cooking breakfast for my sons and I. That spamtacular breakfast. That was actually really good. And cooked some breakfast. I'm sorry, this sun is... I don't mind it, but... breakfast is good. Breakfast is great. And then we did the raking. And then I hit up the gym. I said, I'm ready to go to the gym. Let me tell you what, the day after Christmas, there was a lot of heads in that gym. A lot of heads in that gym. But, you know, they were eating them sweets. Some of them probably eating that honey baked ham. Yeah, you got to work that off. You got to work that off. So good on them. I hit up the sauna steam. I evaded the ringworm. So it looked a little cleaner than it has been. But, yeah, it's still got some work to do. I'll tell you that much. But you'll get there. You guys will get there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going to the gym. There's paying members there, and, there's a standard. There's a standard. You don't want people walking out of there with ringworm. It's just not good. No bueno. Anyways, as the day went on, which was fantastic, I had a 3-day weekend, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. It's been storming. It was storming at work on Tuesday. I mean, bad. And we got through it safely. Anyways, we'll fast forward to last night. After that beautiful day of progress, checking stuff off the list, I had a great talk in the lair with my dad, and he was kind of curious on what, spiritual bypassing is. And I can only give my examples. Now, I've gone through a spiritual awakening for the last 6 years, almost 7. And I would say in the middle of that, about 2 or 3 years into it, heavy meditations took place after work. So I'd get off work at 7 a.m. and I'd go right there in that lair. And I'd sit down with Source. About 20, 30 minutes, sometimes longer. And let me tell you, folks, a lot of those conversations were not pleasant. Everybody has times that they think about shame and about guilt and about regret. And why that's so hindering to growth is because it keeps you in those low vibratory states. When you keep thinking about those situations, it brings you down to that level of shame, guilt, and regret. Those are the lowest vibratory states you can be in. And to get out of those and to enjoy your life and to progress, it takes work. You can't bypass that. There is no bypassing that. If you want to improve, you have to sit down with those thoughts. You have to sit down with God and you go over those. Yeah. And to even get to that state to where you can look at yourself in the mirror and go, I need to change some things, or I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of being this way. I'm tired of acting that way. Just to get to that state, you have to, your body, your organs, your vessel has to be at a certain cleanse. And again, I'm speaking from experience. I used to be a heavy drinker. It went from a couple times a week plus the weekend to every single day. Functioning alcoholic. Never thought about that stuff. And after I cleaned that out, cleaned the tobacco out, cleaned out all the poor content, then I started asking these questions. And I don't know what it is. It's a cellular level. This matrix knows how to keep people ignorant. This matrix knows how to keep people godless. I don't know what else it is. But my personal journey, when I cut out everything, and I mean everything, for 4 months, these are the questions I asked. And I'm going to give you a couple examples of the bypassing that I did. One example of spiritual bypassing, and like I just mentioned, is not taking care of your vessel. You will never get in touch with God's source. I can say that with confidence. You'll never get in touch with God's source with a poor diet, alcohol in your system, nicotine in your system, heavy drugs in your system. I'm not talking about plant medicines. I'm talking about the nasty stuff. You hear me? The nasties. The second form of bypassing is in the meditative state when those questions pop up. And I'm going to give you an example of mine with my sons when I was a drinker and I would have them on the weekends. One of the reasons why I felt shame later on, and even till today, there's still questions I have unanswered. I'll get to those. It's part of my spiritual evolution. But one of the questions Source asked me was, hey Tony, why did you let your kids play video games that much back in the apartment? And my bypass answer was, they enjoy it. They're having fun. You want to know the real answer? Because God knows when you're lying. Source knows when you're bypassing. The real answer was because I wanted to indulge in whiskey and have no responsibilities as a parent. That's the real answer. And that's just one example. And that question popped up years down the road. But it was different because my sons are grown now. And that shame turned into regret. Because that one activity is so detrimental. Why did you allow them to play video games? Think of what they could have been if they were to put that time elsewhere. Think of where you would have been, me, if I would have put my time elsewhere instead of video games in a bottle. These are the tough questions that I ask myself during those meditations. And I got to thinking, like, do other people experience this? I would have to say, if they choose. I know several people who cannot be alone. You ever wonder why? You ever wonder why they give you, I'm just a social person. I like company. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe they can't be alone because these questions pop up. And if you look at it from a different perspective, that is Source reaching out to you. These are unanswered questions that play a part in your uncomfortability and possibly your misery. Misery is horrible. And misery loves company. Misery don't like God, though. But God is your greatest tool out of it. you have to go within. Just like Michael mentioned. You have to go within. You have to go through this. And I guess I'm posting this because I don't think a lot of people understand the definitions of spiritual bypass. And it's more than just not meditating. It's more than just not cleaning your vessel. It's more than just not trying to be the best version of yourself. It's when you get into these meditative states, which takes work. You can't just sit there and thinking you're talking to source. It's a heartfelt conversation. I didn't speak a word. Not a single syllable came out of my mouth. It was all heart. And when you answer those questions honestly as to why you feel shame, why you feel guilt, why you feel regret, you know the answer. It's a spiritual path. It's a spiritual growth that helps you answer those questions honestly. And you look back and the question's going to pop up. Are you that same individual? Are you that same person? And if you've done the proper work, you can answer God honestly. And you won't get that sick feeling in your stomach or that odd tingle in your chest when you know you're lying. There is no lying to God. Zero. You will feel it in your body. You will feel it in your heart. Whether you answer those questions honestly or falsely. That is spiritual bypassing. That can be growth. You have to do the work. I can look back on a lot of these questions. I just gave you one little example. So many questions over my lifetime. So many situations where my vibratory state went down into the guilt, shame, and regret, just like everybody here. We're living in a learning simulation. You are that voice in your head. Okay? This is your vehicle. It's not fun when you're going through a real spiritual awakening. There's a lot of people out there who think they are. And maybe they are. Who am I to say that they aren't? But when are you going to progress? When are you going to realize that real effort, solo effort, heartfelt effort, commitment, dedication, these are superpowers, by the way. I don't know if you realize that. They're not just descriptions of someone's character. These are superpowers. Because not many people have that. Dedication, commitment, authenticity, integrity. Those are superpowers. Because individuals that have that, they're usually successful. They're usually leaders. They usually help people out. They have the answers. Not just because it's by luck. Maybe they've gone through some things. And they realized not having that stuff, not having those powers, or we call characteristics, doesn't get you very far. Doesn't attract very, positive individuals. Just think about that. Because a lot of those I never had, and I had to build them up. And I would like to think I have a lot of those superpowers now, and I'm very thankful. But I know the work I put in. I'm still putting in. I'm almost 7 years. All right? And it started off as just not drinking alcohol for a year. And here I am almost 7 years, and I've found source. I have crushed demons. And I still am crushing demons. I fight every single day as a battle. Every single day. But I got source on my side now. Anyways, I wanted to share that with the community. Those are my thoughts on spiritual bypass. And that's a heartfelt. This is a heartfelt video. Anyways, I'm going to finish this beautiful mug of coffee from Archaics. Oh, got our everyday live shirt. Yeah, I'm a supporter. I'm a supporter of both. Both of those guys are fantastic souls. Check them out. Might learn a thing or two. Subscribe if you like this. I got plenty more. Wait till I get my pictures back. Oh, T-NocK's going to be blowing wigs off, man. When you see that, you can be like, who the heck is that guy? When you see these pictures of what I used to look like. And it goes beyond that, because when I look at those pictures, I'm going to know the level or the lack of soul evolution. I'm going to know who was behind those actions. And thank source, I am no longer that individual. But I'm telling you, I had to go through that. Oh man, I had to go through a gauntlet of hard tasks, questions, meditations, gallons of tears. But I came out feeling that much better, knowing that I grew. Anyways, maybe it's time to get some breakfast. Maybe some more spam. I saw some more cans back there. Don't get me wrong. They thought they were hiding that spam. No way. Anyways, until next time, never let your light dim. T-NocK out.